Hi everyone, welcome to our channel, Rebecca, Stu, and the crew. I'm Rebecca, and today we have a DIY, some life hacks, and a product review, all from the Dollar Tree. So let's get started with the product review today. I found this handheld bag sealer with a magnetic strip at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. They come in different colors. The color on the box represents what color you get inside of the box. So I have these pink ones. I actually bought two. Kind of wish I wouldn't have. You'll see why here in just a few minutes. So you just pop this lid open. Takes two AA batteries, which you do have to provide yourself. And it tells you which directions to put the batteries in. I was making sure that I had the bag sealer in view and in the middle of the camera there, making sure you guys could see what I was doing. And didn't really pay that close of attention to how I was putting in the batteries and actually have them in the wrong way. So it wasn't heating up. So I fixed the batteries and we're going to try this again. So you have to hold this closed for 30 seconds. So what that's doing is heating up the sealing portion of the bag sealer. So once you have it for about 30 seconds, it says 20 to 30 seconds, then you'll want to start in the center of the bag and slowly work your way towards the edge, sealing the bag. Once you get to the end, it says to start back in the middle and go the opposite direction, sealing the bag on the other side. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to do the full 30 seconds to heat it up. I start in the center of the bag. I push down pretty hard. I've got it nice and closed. I know I'm pushing down hard here. And I am slowly working my way to the edge. Now, I know it looks like I'm going fast here, but I actually have it sped up to 4 times the speed of the actual speed of the video. So you can imagine how slow I'm actually going across the bag. That's because I've already tried this several times and it still has not sealed the bag. So then I went in and I wiped down the inside of the bag, thinking maybe there was like some oils on the bag that was keeping it from sealing. And we'll try it again. So I'm going to go again, right from the middle, super slow. I heat it up for the 30 seconds. I can feel it getting warm, so I know it is heating up. It's just not sealing the bag. So I keep going across the bag here, nice and slow. Like I said, this is at 4 times the speed. Slowed down. And then I get to the edge. I was a little bit more hopeful this time because I could actually see some grooves in the bag. So it looked like it was starting to seal it. And so when I check it, it is starting to seal. So I was kind of hopeful. I'm like, well, let me go back over it again and maybe then I'll get a good seal. So I start in the middle and I go right back over top of the one that I just did, hoping that it would help to really get a nice tight seal on the bag. And again, I'm going really slow here. I have this sped up to go 4 times faster than I'm actually going across the bag. So it really took a long time to even get just half of the bag partially sealed. I skip forward a little bit there so you guys don't have to watch the whole thing. So it looks like it's sealed. So I'm going to start in the middle and I'm going to do exactly like the directions say and go the opposite direction. Again, I'm going super slow all the way down the bag to seal it on the opposite side. To tell you the truth, this side actually sealed a little bit better than the first side that I did. And so I was kind of excited. You could tell there's like a groove there. It looks like it's sealed. And so it is for the most part right in the middle. There was still a little open spot and I barely have to tug it and it just pops open. So it's sealed enough, but literally save yourself the time and the energy and just put it in a Ziploc bag. It's just not worth the time and effort to try to seal it. But maybe it's just this bag. So let's try a different bag. So far, I'm not very hopeful. So now I have these little cellophane bags, which are pretty thin. So it should be able to seal this, I would hope. I again do the same exact steps like it says. I go really slow. This is just sped up again because I don't want you guys to have to watch the whole time it actually took for me to do this. You can see the groove on the bag, so it does look like it's sealing it. So I was a little bit more hopeful here, but it didn't seal it at all. It just does not work. So, I mean, for $1.25, I'm not out a lot of money, but I definitely would not recommend purchasing this product. If you see it, just leave it on the shelf. And to tell you the truth, I was a little bit worried. The batteries actually get really hot on the inside. I could feel the heat kind of coming through the top and the bottom on my hand. And when you take the batteries out, they're really hot to the touch. That kind of worried me. Just not a great product. Do not buy this item. And that is my honest opinion and review. So for DIY number one, we're going to work on this little sign here from Dollar Tree. They come pre-made with the gather word on there. We need a razor blade and some vinyl. We'll also use some of their DIY ornaments, some scissors, and some hot glue. So we're going to take this really pretty roll of orange glitter paper. It's their reusable vinyl from the Dollar Tree. And we're just going to pull out a piece that is wide enough to cover the word gather. And then we'll cut that down to size. And we'll remove the whole entire backing off of this piece. Then we'll lay it right on top of the word. I kind of start in the middle, pushing it down and working my way to the edge to help not get a bunch of bubbles underneath of it. It's going to look a little bit bumpy because we've got the raised words up underneath of it. And then I just rub along the edges with my finger so I can see where all those edges are at. And then I'm going to go in with my razor blade and slowly go around the edges of the raised up word and cut off the excess vinyl. This is a really easy DIY. It's a little bit time consuming just because of the, um, whole using the razor blade to cut out all of the vinyl here, but it's so pretty when it's done because it's just a really pretty vibrant orange with the glitter in time for fall. If you want to, once you get the vinyl completely removed from around the edges, you can go in with a small emery board and use it like sandpaper to clean up your edges. If it doesn't look like any part is sticking, you could also go over the whole thing with some Mod Podge, but mine was sticking pretty well. Any piece that started to lift up a little bit from the edge of the razor blade, I would just rub with my finger to heat it up a little bit with, just your body temperature, and that seemed to help get it to stick. Just creating a little bit of friction there with your hand. Heating up the vinyl helps it to stick. So they have a few different signs like this at the Dollar Tree that are pre-made with the words on them. They have another one that says thankful, and I think they have one that says bless. So here's what it looks like so far. Then I had these DIY ornaments. We've got a pumpkin and some leaves. I decided just to stick with the leaves, so I'm going to use that same orange color for one of the leaves. And then I had some rolls of their glitter vinyl in gold, and we'll use that for the other leaves. So there's two ways you can do this. You can trace your leaf and then cut it out with a pair of scissors. And then when you put it on the wood piece, you'll have to trim around the edges a little bit because it's going to be a little bit larger than the actual leaf itself, and you'll have a little bit of that vinyl hanging over the side. I found it was easier to put this on if you, instead of like laying it upside down, you just kind of start on the edge and then lay the vinyl down. So I cleaned up the edges for that one. So for the gold ones, I decided just to go ahead and take the leaf, put it right on top of the vinyl, and then just trim around it with the razor blade. It was a lot easier to do it this way. At least I thought it was. And there was a lot less trim work when I was done. This vinyl is pretty thin, so you can go through it really easily with the razor blade. Sometimes too easily, so you do want to be careful as you're pulling it away from the edges because you don't want to rip that vinyl. So you can do as many leaves as you like. You can paint them. You can really do any decoration here that you like. I'm just going to use the two gold and the one orange leaf. I decided against the pumpkin. It was a little bit too much, and I didn't want to take away from the middle of the sign with the word gather because I really like how it stands out with that orange color. And these ornaments are quite large to put on the edges of the sign. So too many, I think, would just be too much. So we're just going to apply these to the edges of the sign using some hot glue. I'll do one gold leaf at the bottom, and then we'll layer these leaves at the top. We'll start with the dark orange, and we'll glue that to the edge, and then we'll go ahead and layer it with the gold leaf. I figure out my spacing and where I want it before I attach it with the glue. You could add a bow here. You could really do anything you like. Maybe add some leaves, like greenery type leaves if you like. but I thought this was enough, so we're just going to leave it as is. So for DIY number 2, we're going to be using some hot glue, some fabric, a pin cushion, a slap bracelet from the party section, a pencil, a ruler, and we are going to take this fabric, and then I have all of these slap bracelets. They come in a 6-pack at the Dollar Tree. They have them for the safari theme birthday theme, and they also have it for the unicorn birthday theme. So you get 6 in a pack. You get 2 of each design. And what we're going to do is just measure how big that slap bracelet is and then go a little bit larger with our material, marking it with a pencil. So we're going to cut these about 10 inches, and we want enough to wrap all the way around the slap bracelet, and we're actually going to create like a pocket. So we just cut our fabric down to size. And then we are going to create this pocket. So we're going to have this inside out to start. And we're going to just put some glue around half of the edge on the bottom and then all the way up the side, leaving an open end. Once the glue dries, then go ahead and turn the whole thing inside out. And this way you'll have the right side on the outside and the part that's a little bit lighter with that faded color on the inside. Sometimes it helps if you have a stick or a pencil or something that you can push inside to help turn the fabric over. And obviously, since we used hot glue, you don't want to push too hard. You don't want to rip through the side, especially because we just used the glue and we want to allow this to dry completely before we, really manhandle it too much. So now what we're going to do is just really work on that edge, making sure that we have the whole thing turned out and try to get it as smooth as we can. Okay, so we've created this little pocket, and now we'll take our slap bracelet and we're just going to slide it down into the bracelet, and then we'll take this edge here, the raw edge, and we're going to turn it in and fold it so we just have a nice smooth edge. Here's my little kitty here. He's helping, of course. I usually have one that comes up to help me with my crafts. And by help, I mean steal my supplies. So once we have this piece turned in, we're going to add a little bit of hot glue to the edge and just seal it up. It doesn't have to be super even. We're just creating a really fun pin cushion that we can use while we craft. The elastic over time on these pin cushions seems to stretch out, so this will really help to have a pin cushion that will last longer over time. So now what we're going to do is cut that elastic that seems to stretch out pretty easy. And what we're going to do is make sure we have this on the right side so it's going to fold in correctly when we put it on. So you're just going to take some hot glue and put a generous amount right in the center, and then glue your bracelet to the middle. Again, make sure that it's going to close the right direction. And then take some more hot glue on that elastic and just fold it over. And then add some more hot glue to the other side and fold it over. And here is our pin cushion. It's very comfortable. It's not as tight as the elastic. It's nice and smooth with that fabric. Super simple, easy craft. And for DIY number 3, we're going to take some more of those slap bracelets. Here's what they look like in the packaging. We'll use a scrunchie, a sticker, or use another headband and some vinyl. So we're going to start with this white one here. This is a baby headband that I found in the hair bow section. And then that white flower is also a barrette that I found at the Dollar Tree. So we're just going to cut the bow off once we open it up. So we don't need that portion, and we're just going to use the long head wrap piece. Now this is white. I was afraid we would see this orange through the fabric, so we're going to remove the sleeve and use just the bracelet portion. So we're going to slide this right into the headband. It's almost a perfect size width-wise, just a little bit wide, but it's pretty close to perfect. And then we're going to do just what we did with the last one. We're going to fold in these ends until we have a nice smooth edge, and we're going to add some hot glue and seal them up. And we'll do this on both sides. So if it's a little too long, you can cut off some excess so you don't have too much of the fabric to fold in. You want it pretty close to the edge, but just a little bit of room so it doesn't poke through the edge, if that makes sense. You want to have a little bit of room on the end for it to move. So here we've got the bracelet completely wrapped in the headband. We have the edges sealed. And now we'll take the clip out of the headband or the barrette, and we'll add some hot glue to the back and glue it right to the middle. And again, make sure that you're gluing it to the right side, that when it is done, you can close it up and it will wrap around. So you can use this as a napkin ring for your table. Be really pretty for the holiday season with all the different napkins. And the scrunchie here, we're going to remove the elastic. And again, we're going to do similar like we did the last one, but this is a sheer elastic or a scrunchie, and I knew I'd be able to see the bracelet through it no matter what I did, even if I removed that plastic covering. So I'm going to use some red vinyl that I had, and we're just going to put that on the top of the bracelet to disguise that coloring, and it sticks right to it. And then we just trim around the edges. And now when we put it in, it will blend in with the red material and you won't even see it. Actually, it helps add to the color. So I trim the edges and then I fold in the bottom and seal them closed. And then you can peel off this little sticker, add some hot glue, and then glue that right to the middle. You could use this as a kid slap bracelet just for the holiday season as a gift. You could use it also as a napkin ring if you like. So those will look cute on the kids' table. We also have these snap clips. It's kind of like a Santa belt. So using the same scrunchie and then the snap clip, I just removed the barrette portion and then glued that to the front. So we did the same steps. So now for a life hack here with these slap bracelets, these are really useful. You can actually wrap these around your rolls of vinyl to help hold them closed. So like the craft stores sell these silicone style slap bracelets. It's like $10 for 4. Here we get 6 in a pack for $1.25, and they hold your rolls of vinyl perfectly. It would also work really well for like gift wrap and things like that. So I think that would be a wonderful way to help bind those things together. And that's all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And here are some other videos from our channel you might also enjoy. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.